at what point did you start competing, either provincial or national or?
For sure. So as I stated, I did train with my older brother, and he's 7 years older than me. And the first tournaments we went to were just local, like travel maybe 1 or 2 cities away, like Cornell or Vanderhoof or some of the smaller regionals. And I was always like, growing up, you get beat up by your older brothers, and now I go into tournament and still get beat up by my brother, right? So, and I actually had a really good friend of mine at the time who was training with me, and he was very talented, and he was beating me. So, my first few years of competition, I was like never on the podium, right? So, it wasn't until I got to more of like the mid levels of blues and the greens that I started to win, and then, like I said, some of the smaller regional events, there might not be a lot of people at these events. So, okay, you're a blue belt. Well, the next person we have is this black belt. Sorry. So you get thrown in the ring, and that's who you compete against. So I was a red belt, and I was the only red belt at a tournament.
Now the red belt is the next one will be black.
Correct.
Yeah. So like in my case, judo was the brown belt. Yeah. The other belts were about the same. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
Exactly. So I was the only red belt, and I had to move up into a division of black belts.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, this is definitely going to be a long day. And I knew that I wasn't expecting a win. But at the end of the day, I was victorious, and I won this men's black belt division as a red belt. And so that's where, even though it was a smaller event, that's where my mind shifted. I'm like, okay, I think I'm actually quite good at this.
You're in the game.
Exactly. So I can hold my own against these black belts. And so from there, I just really started to focus more and more on my technique. I focused more on sparring strategies. That was something I never had. It was just get in the ring, put the gloves on, and kind of bite down on the mouth guard and go for it, right?
Yeah.
And I really started to focus on strategy going into the ring, looking at my opponent. Are they bigger? Are they smaller? Are they heavier set? Are they leaner?
You're staring them down and say...
you're literally assessing them, right?
Yeah.
So not just... And it could come down to like their attitude too. If I see someone that looks like they're very aggressive, right away I can go, I'm going to adapt my style to be more defensive. See if I can counter that. So I really started to focus on so many different aspects of it after getting that win as a red belt. So, and then from there, it just progressed into winning Western Canadian championships. And then I finally won my first national championship. Getting selected to go be a member of the Canadian team, I got to travel to Korea for the World Championships. So that was that's like someone getting to play, like a hockey player getting to play at their favorite arena of their NHL team, right?
Exactly.
So having the opportunity to go to Korea and perform Taekwondo at a World Championships was just an amazing experience. So.
Right. So the key there also is, as you go through all the steps that you want, where you were beaten up by these and those and the smaller rings and that are not people of your level there, and you had to go fight against other ones and again be beaten up and not ending up on the podium. So that you reach that point where all of a sudden you're now a red belt, and that makes you close to a black belt first dan, and then you win. That became a mental turnaround in terms of, okay, I belong here, I can do it.